Well, look what we have here. I am now the proud owner of a $5,000 Alt Art Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike. I'm only joking, guys. This video is going to talk about how price manipulation is happening in the English alt art market and what you can do in order to prevent yourself from getting scammed, from getting manipulated into paying prices higher than what this card is apparently being sold for recently on eBay. And yes, this is not a $5,000 card. Not yet, of course. But who knows? You know, the investment bros might be right. Alt arts are the next thing from Sword and Shield. But let's get into the video and talk about what happened quite recently. Coffee today. Now, before we get into the full video, I would recommend you go and watch Opossum Bud's video and Rob Burns' video. Rob Does Pokemon. Both their videos are in the description down below. Go check it out. They cover this excellently. As somebody who has pulled the Gengar Alt Art VMAX with my son, had it graded in a PSA 10, I thought it would be worth speaking about it. Now, what's happened is that G Emporium had the Gengar Alt Art listed for sale as an auction listing. That was bid up 125 bids all the way to $5,000. This card is not worth $5,000. Now, G Emporium did put out a statement to say that, you know, this is something that they're aware of, that's happened. It's been show bidded all the way up to $5,000. And this can be a problem because it skews the data. It also misleads people, creates artificial pricing. This card is not worth $5,000, as I said, not yet anyway. Okay, perhaps at some point in the future it will be. There are more than 5,000 PSA 10s graded. Yes, I always go on about how many people in the market are actually looking for these cards compared to the older cards, the more vintage cards. There are millions and millions of people now that are in the space and in the hobby and aware of graded cards. However, you must protect yourself.
Yeah, boy.
How do you do that? Well, it's very simple. You can go online and look at recent sold listings. You can see that this card is worth somewhere in the region of $650 to $750 max, okay, at this given time. That's where a majority of the auction listings and buy it now listings are selling at. Be smart, be wise. When you get into this, when you start to collect these higher end, this isn't ultra high end, but I would say for the average person, this is quite an expensive card. So make sure you do your due diligence and make sure you're aware of what's happening in the market, because this has happened in the Japanese market, as Opossum Bud did point out, and a few other creators have also pointed this out in the past. And this now looks to be shifting across into the Sword and Shield English market. One thing eBay can do in order to resolve all of this is to A, remove those listings or remove that price data, and B, which I think will happen, and B, to be able to charge. If people are going to be show bidding and bidding up prices to this degree, I mean, it's crazy. It's more than 5 times the value of the actual face value of that card. It's like 6 times the value of the card, okay? It's not worth that. So what eBay need to be doing is that in order to stop this, potentially charge people on their credit card as soon as the sale is completed and concluded. I think this will make a huge difference in the shill bidding, in the price manipulation that we see in the market. I, as a collector, don't like this, okay? I'm not a big fan of this. Yes, I own the card and I'm happy that the card has seen an increase in value over the last year or two. At the time when I pulled the card, I was just happy to have a Gengar. Gengar is one of my top 5 Pokemon of all time. So being able to pull an alt art for Gengar for me was an amazing experience. Also, the fact that I pulled it with my children whilst opening a booster box. So there is a good memory attached to that for me as a collector. Yes, of course, the fact that it's gone up in value is something that I appreciate and I'm happy about. But to this degree, in such a short space of time, it can always be manipulation. Remember, when prices go up this quickly, when something is too good to be true, it normally is. Be cautious, take your time, go through all of the previous sold listings in the last week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. Work out what an average price is, whether it's within your budget and you're happy to buy. Stay safe out there, guys, because this is something that we are going to see more and more of as time progresses, because we know that there are greedy people out there. You could call me one of those people because I do talk about investment. However, I'm also a collector at heart. And for me, it's about having sustainable growth over a period of time for a small portion of my portfolio across the range of things that I buy, collectibles being one of them. As you can see, I'm starting to display a little bit more because I feel like people watching these videos might think this guy talks about investing but doesn't really invest. These are just some of it. This is not all of it. If I was to, it would fill up the entire screen. I don't think I could even fit it on a screen. Anyway, this is not about that. This is about being cautious, understanding the market, understanding that there are people out there that are there only for a quick buck and want to manipulate in order to gain on their end, okay? They don't care about the average consumer, the average collector, people like you and I who appreciate the TCG, who appreciate the art, who appreciate the thrill of the chase, to be able to pull a card that we really connect with and that we really like. Guys, this is it. Just a short, sharp video on this topic because it's something that I felt necessary to speak about. If you do like the content, make sure you slap the like button, headbutt the bell notification, and fly kick that subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.